Everybody's used to me making videos about the 890 and lately about my wife's Spider and talking about those bikes and how much we're enjoying having those in the stable. So those have been great additions. But the thing I haven't talked about at all really is my favorite bike of all, and quite honestly, the most entertaining motorcycle I have ever owned. My 2020 KTM 1290 Super Adventure S is by far the most entertaining, the most enjoyable, the most thrilling, the most versatile, the most incredible motorcycle I have ever owned. It's saying a lot because I've had a lot of great bikes, but honestly, this is the pinnacle of riding to me. It's an awesome bike. I mean, I understand that riding a motorcycle is different for everybody and everybody has their own perfect bike. As far as I'm concerned, KTM built this bike exactly for me. They just said, what does their dad want, and we'll make it do exactly that. And this has been the greatest bike I have ever owned, period. I mean, it's so much fun. Straight line, twisties, good on the travel, although you got to get over having cases on it. Good on travel. It just does everything in an entertaining way that I couldn't ask for more. This is the reason I don't buy another one. I can't expect another motorcycle to deliver the enjoyment that this 2020 Super Adventure S has delivered to me. It's definitely changed my riding style as far as how I shift a bike. I mean, I'm far more aggressive. The speed shifting is intoxicating with this bike. Let's take off on, show you what this does. The intimidation factor, 160 horsepower. It didn't take long to learn that, yeah, it's got 160 horsepower, but it won't give them to you unless you request it. Through your throttle hand, you have to say, give it to me. It won't accidentally do it. This bike is as gentle as a kitten in sport mode. You can ride in sport mode in the rain, and I've done it many times, and not be worried about it. This bike will never give you more than you ask for. If you ask, it will go. It will go great. It's a shocker how good this bike is. It's a shocker how entertaining this bike is. It's a shocker how much it changes your riding style, your riding enjoyment, everything about it. This bike is beyond every measure you could put on it as far as enjoying riding. This bike blows it all away, and I never even knew this bike was out there. It's the acceleration factor in this bike that makes it so fun to ride. Anytime you grab throttle, it's willing to go, and it takes off. I don't think this bike would be half as much fun without the speed shifter. I think a huge part of my enjoyment of the bike is just the ability to hold the throttle open and just go through the gears. It's another thing about this bike, with all the electronics turned on, you kind of forget how to ride other motorcycles because it's got the MTC. You downshift like an idiot at high RPMs, and the bike just takes care of it. So you get used to being, quite honestly, very aggressive in your shifting, both up and down, and you just don't worry about it. When you get on a normal motorcycle, it doesn't have a speed shifter or doesn't have the MTC, all of a sudden your rear tire is locking up on you. I've taken it on some long trips. I've taken it out west from Virginia. I've taken it as far as Double's Tower, and we've been out around Mount Rushmore and all that. I've taken it up to Nova Scotia this year. It's a great traveling bike. I always thought it would be a problem to have a chain on a traveling bike. Just put a chain oiler on it. I go through tires so fast on this bike that I never even adjust the chain. I pretty much ignore it. I mean, maybe every couple of months I'll wipe it off, but I let the chain oiler do its thing. And because I don't want to deal with the chain, I just, every time I do a valve check, which is basically 18,000 miles, I just put a new chain and sprocket on it. I don't ever want to think about the chain and sprocket. I find myself buying adventure tires that are more in the 95.5 range or 90-10 range as far as mostly pavement. And what I found is those tires puncture very easily when you take them off pavement. I learned that the hard way. I also learned that my bike tells me when I have a puncture. I've owned this bike probably 38 months. I'm excited every time I walk towards it that I get to ride it. It delivers excitement unlike any other bike. When I first bought this bike, I was on a Super Tenere at the time. They're great bikes. But when I would go out for a ride, it would be a nice 250-mile ride. As soon as I bought this bike, my day ride started going from 250 to closer to 400. I was in the high 300s. You just hate stopping for gas. You don't want anything to stop the ride. You look down, you see you're low on gas. It's like, damn, I gotta stop. I don't want to stop. Now, the reason that this bike is so good for me is it has a lot of warnings on it. It has a lot of cautions. It has a lot of information as far as punctured tire or fuel pump, or it has all kinds of low battery. That was the one I saw going into Canada. One of the most spectacular things I love about this motorcycle is you don't have to ride it insanely fast to get a thrill out of it. And the acceleration, the speed shifter allows you to have fun in a straight line. I've never had a bike that was fun in a straight line, but you can actually look forward to the next stop sign because you get to take off again. That's why I say it makes straight roads fun. and it's nice, you enjoy it. I just want a thrill, and this bike will do it. You don't have to go super fast to enjoy this bike. That's probably one of the top reasons I don't know that I could ever get rid of this bike. I just love what it will do for me. You'll be going through a set of twisties, you'll be hammering the throttle, you'll be loving it, you'll look down, and you're not really going as fast as you think you are. That's wonderful. I don't need high speed. I want high thrill. And because this bike is so responsive, when you take off, you get high thrill out of it without going crazy, stupid fast that you're going to end up spending the weekend in jail. It's one of the things I love. I just love that about this bike. So don't sleep on the S. It's definitely worth considering if you're looking for the most entertaining motorcycle you will ever own. I highly recommend it. Thanks for tuning in. Ride safe. Have a fantastic day. I am. It's a gorgeous day, and I'm on my sass. Gotta love it. Take care, people.